Hey, family, it is your sister, Just Angel. I am on the road. Hit that like, smash that notification bell, and subscribe to your sister channel. Family, man, what is going on? How you guys doing? Thank you guys for your comments. Man, looking forward to having a great weekend. Man, beautiful Friday. Silver this morning was at 64. Then it hit to 65, 64. People are calling it a pullback. I'm calling it like a teeter-totter. Like a teeter-totter, up and down, up and down. So many people are telling me, you know, Angel, I'm getting rid of my silver. I mean, there are people that are waiting in line for silver to go up just enough for them to get rid of their silver. They are tired. They're frustrated. They don't see the value in holding it, you know. And I think this stems from back in January. I hate to say it, you know, when people were saying, hey, you know, $300 an ounce for silver, you know, grab your silver, you better get it. And a lot of the newcomers that, you know, they weren't familiar with how things run, what the history is, and, you know, they went with, you know, with the dealers. And, you know, some of them were being reasonable and kind of being careful of what they say because they've been in the field for many, many, many years. And then you have some of these guys that, you know, they're just business. Like, hey, yeah, buy, you know, you better get this. You know, it'll pay you back, you know, next week. It's going to hit. It's going to hit. I remember a lot of people were telling me, because at that time, I was scrapping jewelry. You know, I was scrapping jewelry and watching people, you know, buy coins and things like that. And I would hear them when I go in there and scrap broken jewelry or whatever I had. These guys are like, hurry up, ladies. All right, honey. But anyway, they were telling the people, hey, you know, silver's going to go up. You know, some of them were saying, well, I'm already stacked up. And, you know, a lot of them were like, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to, you know, do this. And they had all these plans, you know, to make all this money because they had been stacking for so long. And, you know, I believe it was that Monday, it was supposed to blow up. And man, when that Monday came, from that day forward, it was dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping to where we are now. And people are still holding all that silver they bought, thinking that they could turn it over within a month's time and be rich. And it's sad that, you know, people believe that lie. It's really sad. So right now, there's still people holding on to a lot of that silver. They were even, you know, holding on, hoping it, you know, silver would go back up. And it did a little bit, but it never hit that, you know, over the 100 again. It never did. And they were frustrated because they never had the heart to hold on. Just like me, I have a lot of things that are heirlooms to me that I love. And, you know, I'll pass it on to my nieces or whomever, that I just would keep. And that's how some of us feel about our coins, that we're just going to keep it. And you had some people that were looking for an opportunity to, you know, get out of debt, you know, get in a wealthier position, or even in wealth period. And, you know, they came across some smooth talkers. And like they always say, if it's too good, if it sounds too good to be true, most likely it will be. So right now, we still got a lot of people that are like, you know what, I'm sick of it. You know, Angel, I just want to get out. I want to get out. I want to sell all this. And I hope that they will hold on to it and don't sell it too cheap, because I do honestly believe, and I do believe, silver will go up. But for me, I'm kind of looking at some gold. you know, I'm always buying silver. I love silver, but I'm feeling that because I know gold and silver is going to go up, and it's always a lot easier to get silver than gold. My goal would be to, you know, just like they're pulling back a little bit, I'm pulling back a little bit, you know, and stack up some cash. And I like to look at some more pieces of gold. Doesn't matter, fraction or what have you. It doesn't matter, because I do believe there's going to be a time that it's going to be really hard to afford gold and silver. But we know that gold is always so much more expensive. I mean, come on, we're talking over $4,300 for 1 ounce. $4,300 for 1 ounce versus $64 for 1 ounce of silver. So, I mean, it's not hard to figure that out, that gold is very expensive. Some of you guys may have it like that, and that's a wonderful place to be. I hope to be there one day. But right now, your sister is looking, according to my plans and my finances, that I would like to add some gold. So I'd like to see what that looks like before I buy more silver. I will be buying more silver. And who knows, I might end up getting more silver before gold. It just depends. But right now, my goal is to hold back and look for some gold. Maybe because I'm in California. It's the gold rush. We're rushing the gold. But I have picked up several pieces of gold, and I've seen a lot of your videos, and a lot of you guys have picked up a lot of gold, and good for you. I think that's a really good thing to do, is to get gold. Oh, man, when it was down 3,900 or something like that, man, that was great. Good for you guys. I did too. I picked up some gold. But, we don't know what's happening. Some people think this is the last pullback. I don't believe it's the last pullback. I don't. But, I'm not a financial advisor. I only can go by my, everybody has their rhythm. And when you're watching something, you kind of see that, you're doing the dance. And I'm just, when you're at the club and you're dancing I don't go to the club anymore, but back in the day, when I used to, get out there, there was a time I had to sit down, give me something to drink. So right now, I'm going to sit down and enjoy my drink. And we'll see what happens next week. If there's going to be, real pullback, because I don't think this is a pullback. I think this is a teeter-totter, but it's not a pullback. Like, we're not at 62 or 59. To me, that's a pullback. This is a game. I think this is being manipulated. That's just my opinion. But it's going to work out for the smart stacker either way it goes, because you're going to do what's right for you, not what other people say, like they did back in January and December, telling people to go out there, and they were going in. Like a lot of us stackers, we don't go all in. We never go all in. But those particular people were going all in because they thought it was a for sure thing. See, back in the day, we had some really good elders that would tell you the truth. They didn't have no reason to be sleazy and scammy, right? But we're in a time of sleazy and scammy. Not all, but very few are not. So you got to get away from the scammers. There's a lot of scammers out here, and they don't like me because I tell them straight up when I go to the coin shops, when I go, even online when I talk about certain things that they don't like. I get bad comments. Some people don't like when I say that sometimes it's cheaper to go to the dealer than it is online. I guess some people that own online shops, they don't like it, or maybe it's the person I'm talking about, but they go in my comments and they say a whole lot of stuff, and if they knew me personally, they wouldn't even bother. They say, this girl don't care. I don't care. Because I think when you're being honest and you're not trying to gain anything, or you don't need anything from anybody, you're just in a community that you enjoy, that encourages one to another to stay with your goals, whether it is, trying to buy a house, or paying off debt, or trying to find a job, or stacking gold and silver, or relationships, whatever it is. We're here for the positive. Sometimes you get people in your comments that, they want to control you. And it's like, no. Especially me, I'm a 60-year-old woman. 60 years old. You know what I'm saying? Some of you guys are like in your 30s, 40s, 50. I'm Sister Angel, just Angel. Okay? That's why I call you family. I'm not, the girl next door. I'm not. I'm a sister that's been around for a little bit that is going to tell you what's up. And what's up right now for me is I'm going to see what's happening next week and see what if there's some good deals on some gold, or maybe there's some good deals on silver. I don't know. But right now I'm not seeing anything good, family. I'm seeing some high premiums. Okay, I'm seeing some high. I see people trying to just. Oh, and you know what the new scam is? Well, I don't know if it's a scam, but to me it seems scammy. I'm getting emails, and it will say, "Come get your American Eagles at Spot." Okay, so I go, great. I run over there, and guess what they say? Let me get over, sir. Okay, they say 1 per person. Okay, so if I buy 1 American Eagle at Spot and pay the tax and the shipping, what's that all about, family? What's this, buy gold at Spot, and I go there and then I only can get 1? Come on, man. What's going on? What's going on? So I guess they're believing, hey, we can get 1 million people just to buy 1, and I get it, but I think realistically, let's do 5 or 10. At least a minimum of 5. Who's gonna go online to buy 1 American Eagle at Spot and have to pay shipping and taxes and things like that? Maybe you don't live in California. Maybe it works for you. I just think that's kind of scammy, because before I even go there, it should say on the email, only 1. Okay. And y'all know me. I like to buy a tube, at least a tube or a half or something. But 1 family, come on, man. I have to pay all this taxes and shipping, and come on. And then sometimes I have to use, my debit or whatever, and they charge a little bit sometimes for the credit card or what have you. So now I try to just pay cash. So family, for me, I'm gonna sit back and watch the show, watch some of y'all's videos, and next week we'll see what they got. Okay, family. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. How are you doing? What is your goal? Are you looking to get some gold next, or are you looking to get some silver? Or are you sitting back enjoying the show? Do you feel like you have enough for right now? Are you looking to just stack up some cash and just go out big starting 2027? Let me know. Let's share. Let's encourage one another. And let's be nice in Angel's comments. Be nice to your sister. Everybody got their opinions. And, I'm a nice person, really. I'm nice. If I just say it like it is, If it ain't right, it ain't right. All right, family. Love you guys. Hit the like, smash the notification bell, and subscribe to your sister channel. Peace out. Love you guys.